Hello, everyone from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is AS Pair talking as usual. I'm actually not sure who's supposed to be joining me today. We did have a bit of miscommunication about which teams or which of my co-commentators is joining me today. But we are live today. We're going to be casting Call of Daddy versus LAT Team 2. This is a really important match for this division, especially. So if you look at the tiebreakers of how it's going to be set up at the very end, basically, if Call of Daddy wins this match, they're into the top eight. All right, and it's just AL and Call of Daddy, and that's it. But if Call of Duty lose this match, they'll be 2-2. Strat is 2-2, and LAT will advance to 2-2. We're going to have a three-way tie on our hands, which is going to be a bit complicated. I've already been briefed by Connor on what will happen in a three-way tie situation if that is the case. For now, let's just focus on this match. Basically, we just know LAT Team 2 is fighting for their survival, and Call of Duty is fighting to make sure that they can secure their spot in top 8 because they are currently in the lead. Let's take a look at the players on each team. On the Call of Daddy side, we have XXX Daddy, we have Fatabi, Troll, and Psychologist. On the other side for LAT Team 2, we have LAT Oso, LAT Quetzalcoatl, and LAT Corey. Quetzalcoatl is our honored guest commentator who has come on a couple times. We really appreciate him joining us. And let's see. All right. Hello, Quetzal. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome again. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Also.
Yeah, welcome. Quetzal, so you played in this match, right? This is LAT Team 2 versus Daddy. So how did you feel about this going in? I imagine the nerves were probably running high because if you lose this match, you're out of top 8 contention.
Yes. I mean, we were aware that this was a very important match. I mean, this was pretty much the turning point. If we lost it, then we were completely out of it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not gonna tell you right now, but it was that important to us.
Yeah. And Daddy, of course, it's really important to them. If they win this match, they secure their spot in the top 8. They don't have to worry anymore. But if they lose this match, then we have a three-way tie, and that can be quite messy. They'd have to play a bunch more games. So it's in both teams' best interest to win this match. It's really, really important for both of them. Bans-wise, for the Call of Duty team, they cannot pick Lakota, Americans, or Aztecs. And on the LAT team, they cannot pick Japanese, Indians, or Greeks. These are among the most banned nations, aside from British, maybe. But these are among the most banned nations, very common bans. So, no surprise here. All right, Quetzal. So, okay, so I believe I set it up so I got the right game number 1. Yeah, are you all set on your end? Do you have the replays already?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Okay, so before we start today's stream, or first today's game, we're going to talk about the donations quickly. If you like the Nordic Classic and you want to support the prize pool, you can go to this link. And Quetzal, it is echoing a little bit. If you have headphones, that would be awesome.
I do have. Okay, it should be better now. Sorry about
thank
that.
you. No worries. You can go to this link right on the Nordic front page of the Nordic Classic, or you can go to the YouTube description right below, and we can look at the donations. Thank you so much to Some Peanuts for Your Mouth, El Cypher, Wizdevor, Kron, PLA, Jatin, Byrak, and this anonymous person is Connor, as well as Bob. Thank you so much for your donations. Adding donations just makes things a little bit more exciting for the players and participants. So thank you so much for donating. We really, really appreciate it. All right. Are you ready for game number 1, Quetzal?
Yes, let's go for it. I'm dying to know what's going to be about.
Yeah.
What's going to be the result.
I'm excited. Okay, so this is Nordic Classic, Daddy versus LAT 2, game number 1. And just to verify, game number 1 is on Australian Outback.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
It's Aztecs, Iroquois, and Turks in my team.
Cool. Let's get started. I'm at 0 seconds. Are you ready?
Yes, let's go for it.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is game
go.
number 1 of Call of Duty versus LAT team number 2. Let's take a look at the players and their nations on Australian Outback. On the Call of Duty side, we've got Troll, Corey's Kebab Maker. I guess Troll just modifies his name every single time he plays against somebody. Playing Greeks, Fatabi playing Japanese, ASXXX Daddy playing Indians. On the other side for LAT Team 2, we've got LAT Corey playing Turks, LAT Quetzalcoatl, hey Quetzal, you are playing Iroquois, and LAT Oso playing Aztecs. Clearly, LAT has the Rush nations here, but I actually do think I like Call of Duty's picks a little bit more. Especially for this map. Aztecs are awesome and Turks are good, but, Japs on this map, very good. Indians are awesome on this map. Greeks are also pretty solid with all those fish being pretty accessible. What did you think, Quetzal? What was your mindset when you loaded up the loading screen and saw they picked Japs, Indians, and Greeks to your Turks, Iroquois, and Aztecs?
Yeah, well, the very first thing that we shared on our team was that we couldn't get to play a long game in this one. If they actually manage to make it a long game, we will be dead in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
With the legs, with all the wealth income they will have, and how overpowered Japs and all the others. All the nations that they use that they picked are tremendously powerful with in this map. With the wealth and income.
Yeah.
So that's something we had clear at least. We had to make it short. Otherwise, we'll be pretty much dead.
Yes. And that seems like an excellent strategy. You never want to let the Indian player get up a nice boom going, let them get out a bunch of elephants, or give the Greek player a lot of time to boom. It's not ideal. And you do have really aggressive nations. Part of the real strengths of Iroquois is raiding early with on the land, or a Turk player with that rush, as well as Aztecs also raiding in the sea or land. Both are quite effective. So overall, I think in a longer game, obviously Call of Duty have their nations are favored, but I do think, there's a lot of potential for the LAT team to make something happen. Let's take a look at where the players have spawned. We see in the middle here on the top, the red Indian player, ASXXX Daddy, who's also known as Sorin. On the right, his teammate, the yellow Greeks player, Troll, Corey's Kebab Maker. And on the very left side, their other teammate, Strat Fatabi, the blue Japanese player, who's facing off directly against Lat Corey, the light blue Turks player. This should be an interesting matchup. They're very close together. On the bottom side, we've got Lat Oso, the purple Aztec player. And finally, we've got the green Iroquois player, Lat Quetzalcoatl, who is our co-commentator. Hey, I see Fatabi and Simba in the chat. How's it going, guys? I do hear that there is static sound coming in the background, but I believe it sounds like Quetzal's fixed that. Yeah. I think this... Quetzal, are you still here, or are you...
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, no worries. No, I was also... we were taken a little bit by surprise. Well, not by surprise, but that we had to be very careful with the position that Cody had. Because, we had the tier 1 nations facing, one versus the other one right there. We had the Japs and the Turks.
Istanbul, yep.
Yeah, so we had to be very careful about that. And actually, when the time comes, what to do, right? You are that close against your enemy, they are Japs, and you say, okay, what to do? Go commerce one, go meal one, especially in this map, what to do. So yeah, you will see the development, of course.
Yeah, we see, first of all, the interesting choice from Corey, gonna skip the 5th farm and just gonna go straight for the library. Definitely an interesting choice. On this side, Fatabi's kind of delaying putting down the library for some reason. Really needs to put that down so it doesn't get killed by an early mill 1. I'm not sure what tech Corey's going to go for. The library does go down for Fatabi. Let's take a quick look at the ruins here, because that pretty much determines a lot of the speed. We do see Corey has a whopping 4 ruins compared to Fatabi with only 1 ruin. That's going to make a big difference in terms of speed. Quetzal, you also have only 1 ruin, and it looks like, although Oso has a whopping 150 ruins, it looks like the LAT team has a better share of ruins, even though, Quetzal, you're not doing too good on ruins yourself.
Sorry?
You don't have that many ruins early on.
Yeah, no, that was something that played against us at the very beginning. I mean, nevertheless, we knew that we had to make a fast beginning, a fast attack, not to make it a long game. I mean, we didn't have that many ruins at the very beginning, so we had
Yeah.
to just keep going with what was present for us.
Yeah, it looks like Corey's going to go for Commerce 1, and it looks like Fatabi's saving up for Mill. This looks like Mill money to me. I think this is not the greatest choice, actually. I think I would have liked to see a Commerce go down first. For Fatabi, the wood camp is pretty protected. If your opponent goes Mill and you're a little bit later to your Mill, it's not a big deal. And also, I think Fatabi at this point should realize, okay, well, Corey's wood camp is also pretty protected. I probably can't get too much damage done with my Mill one. I should just Commerce, and then then I'll Mill. Really, I don't really see the reason to go directly for Mill. And I'm not sure if it's going to work out. Here we see Corey already getting up a dock, already has a fisherman out. Nice work from her. On this side, Quetzal, you've gone for Civic first. Can you talk a little bit about that choice?
Yeah, because the thing is that I found myself with a lot of food in that moment.
Yeah.
With a lot of food, and I didn't have enough, not even enough wood to go the research for commerce. So I mean, taking advantage of this precarious situation with food, anyways, I decided to go civic and to risk it, and to put to build my city in between of them, so I could actually make a division in the territory between yellow and red.
Yeah,
that was
also,
pure random that I decided to go, by that. But hopefully it will work.
Yeah, I think this is a good city position, especially considering you're kind of protecting your mountain here. Your opponents may want to contest that, but you're kind of protecting it there. This is also a pretty defensible position. You can defend from both sides. We do see another woodcutter camp going up for Daddy. Looks like he's going to go for a longer game, going to skip Civic for a while. And let's talk about the rares quickly for the Call of Daddy side. Oh, actually, there's a raid going down. I should pay attention to this. Looks like Corey has gotten milled, doesn't have a barracks quite yet, actually has no timber. And this looks like a lot of damage, actually, for Fatabi. Fatabi seems to have lucked out. Corey didn't save up the timber necessary to make a difference here. This archer is going to get picked away at, but 2 heavy infantry is going to do a lot of damage. A third one coming out. Corey looks like she's in a lot of trouble here. Look at her economy.
That's terrible when you just found yourself at the very beginning. I mean, I was telling you about the importance of this spot for our team. I mean, the best tiers were facing 1 against 1, and then we started losing pretty much. Because with this raid, she was not ready for that at that very moment, but.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Let's take a look at how many kills we have. We do see Fatabi going to go for... Fatabi already has 2 kills, going to go for Commerce 1. I actually think Fatabi's not doing a great job microing. He's doing a decent job. I think he needs to realize there's sugar right there, which Corey's probably using. You just want to move a single heavy infantry over there and deny it. But Corey still has no wood. Corey's in a ton of trouble. And now we see Oso going to put up a barracks, but it's kind of far away, unfortunately. Corey's going to send out... Corey's also not microing the best. Going to put down the barracks, finally. Let's see if Fatabi scouts it. Should be continuously moving the heavy infantry around. They're kind of all clumped up right now, which isn't really helping. Barracks looks like it's going to be close. Let's see if he's able to deny it. We see some Oso sending resources. Barracks might be denied. Fatabi's not doing the best job target firing with this archer. Should be target firing the citizens, not the building. Looks like the barracks is going to go up, maybe? Oh, it is finished. That's going to be a nice move there. I would like to see if Fatabi just get as much value out of these heavy infantry as much as possible. Just start target firing the citizens while he booms up in the background, get some fishing ships out, get a market going. But it looks like he's just backing off. That's a terrible choice. In fact, Corey only now has money for a bowman, and Osa's going to send in some reinforcements as well. But
that was the thing. I mean, we realized the problem Corey was in. And the truth is that we were too far away. I mean, all the time I was pretty much blocked by red cities. And also, he actually could send some troops or made a difference, but he was far away. So the most practical thing we did was to send her resources. I mean, we started sending her resources to aid her, her damaged economy by this, and hopefully that this will help her and put her back on her feet.
Yeah, and here, I was impressed with Corey's play, or Fatabi's play earlier, but now I'm not so much. Played a little bit too passive. Corey clearly was suffering for wood, so could have stayed here with two heavy infantry at the wood camp just to deny the wood and stop all these units from coming out. And now Fatabi's going to lose his slingers to some citizens. That's a bad choice. These bowmen are going to go down as well, and then these heavy infantry do manage to take out that bowman from Corey. We do see Oso. I believe Oso missed a merchant that was just passing by, but is now going to raid the back line. And Indian's player does have a barracks, but currently no units. Should really... Oh, just a hoplite coming along. But is sneakily using horses. It looks like Fatabi is going to put up a barracks over there. And the Turks player has age. Okay, I really need to look at the rares because we haven't talked about the rares yet. While there's action happening everywhere. On Fatabi's side, for Call of Duty, there's relics, there's obsidian, there's spice. On the top left, on the very top, there's cotton, there's copper over there, marble, which is not actually accessible to them. And then we see Daddy actually using horses over here. And then for the LAT team, they've got sugar, gems, bison, horses, citrus. On the bottom side, there's furs, tobacco, peacocks, wool, salt, pappy, silk. Clearly the rares are in favor of LAT, but that's just, a lot of that is because they have the better city placement, or like, a lot of it is because they have better, they have more map control.
We have more open territory, more unused territory.
Yeah.
If you see the free zones, there are bigger at our sides, and I also like to underline. I think that the Trolls Cody's kebab maker, yellow player here, he will play a major role, because the thing is that a lot of the action will be, or seems to be, developing at the center, at the middle, or at Cody's side. So the whole right flank is completely occupied by yellow. So it all depends a lot what he will do.
And here, Quetzal, I'm going to give you props. This is an awesome raid. Daddy's doing a terrible job. Those archers were just sitting there for a good 10 seconds while he lost 3 or 4 citizens. Really bad there. But it does look like Troll is going to raid in the back line, going to raid the salt, which is a nice rare to get rid of. And the tower at the front from Fatabi is really nice, although I hate this choice to go Civic. It's really bad. I think you just need to age as soon as possible. Because now Corey has sieges, and what are you going to do? You don't have enough units to contest this. You're not classical age. This is going to be a free tower given away. Corey's economy is suffering, but you can't do much about these sieges. They're just going to go back inside. We see Despot from Corey. I think that's a good choice. Recognize that Fatabi went Civ, which is not a good spot. Not a good choice in this spot. Gonna be able to snipe off one of the sieges, maybe, but the other one is still at full health.
It's actually great, I think, that the choice that Corey made, given the circumstances, going, actually skipping Civic and skipping Science and going directly to Age, because then she got the siege, then she got all the the updates.
Yeah, and if you compare Fatabi's age time to Corey's age time, Corey's been classical age for a good 3 minutes now, whereas Fatabi's only now clicking up. Gonna put down a market, not a good choice. What you want to do in this map is just build more fishermen. Really, really poor choice. Now this barracks is gonna start getting sieged down. A stable coming up for Corey, as well as a tower. Not really impressed here. On this side, Daddy looks like he's been slowed down quite a bit by those raids, but they need to do something, or else Fatabi's just gonna die on this side. Kyoto begins getting sieged. Classical age only now finishing up. Tiny army here for Corey, but it's going to be good enough. Let's take a look. Corey lost her barracks, but does have a stable which is pumping out cataphracts right now. There's no economy right now. What? Sorry.
This, what the thing that will make the difference here is that tower from Corey. Oh yeah, and she started researching militia. That means, what that means, man. The classic.
That's a militia rush.
Sir. Oh yeah. So, what are you expecting from that, sir? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would like to see Corey make a couple more citizens to get that food, the metal income up, which she is doing. And she's also starting to pump out more units, gonna start pumping out more cavalry units. And Fatabi needs to get a stable going and a barracks. It needs to start making units out of this barrack, especially bowmen and heavy infantry. Because currently he has nothing. I also would have liked to see him put the Senate at Kumamoto, because clearly Kyoto's the one that's getting attacked. If Corey just walks in, I think she could take it, because there's no militia quite yet for Fatabi.
No, okay. Yeah, he is researching right now. Okay, but on the other hand, oh yeah, so we're talking about a big army of Cody along with the militia.
Yeah, this is a big Despot Rush army.
In addition to the decoys. Okay.
Militia's finished. Corey's gonna go for it. Let's see if she can get it. I think she will, especially if Fatabi's slow in the charge. There's not enough militia here for Fatabi. Only 13. Corey takes the city easily.
Oh, yeah.
And if Fatabi had skipped Civic, this game is very different, right? Now they're like roughly even on this side. But he didn't. He got Civic for some reason, which was a stupid choice. And in the end, it's going to cost him this game, because now Corey has that cap sack bonus. I'm going to expect to see a Wonder or something thrown down sooner, or probably some more production buildings. And they could just hold and wait for Fatabi to die, because Fatabi's dead, right?
But, I think that perhaps he thought that after the raid he had caused that damage. I mean, it was visible and sensible, the damage that he caused. But I don't know if he could count that, for example, we gave Cody, we shared the resources, so that speed her up a lot. I mean, didn't count with the team play, perhaps, in this one.
Yeah, it is definitely like big props to the LAT team here for doing a good job sharing resources. And we see, the Call of Duty team is still ahead, technically in average score, but, this is going to be a really hard city to take, Kyoto, against a Despot opponent who has plenty of resources to spend, pumping out units. And, Daddy's going to lose these couple units to some cavalry from Corey. Really nice play from Corey. And now we see Oso's also going to help out. And Troll, I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's just booming along. He's like, okay, I got 12 scholars. I got my economy up. Whatever. We're just chilling.
Yeah, they're trying to send some units. They're trying to send some units, like going across the map, all the way to the other corner. But then I had to do something about it as well. So I just decided to send some units and try to, to pinch one or two that they were on their way.
Yeah, and this is good from you, Quetzal, just constantly being annoying, pressuring the front, splitting up Daddy from both sides. And now, Daddy's trying his best. Has 2 war elephants. I'm pretty sure there was a third one that went down, but they're not going to be able to take on all of these units. There's actually a tower and a lookout now coming from Corey. Both excellent choices. And Corey looks like she's used up a lot of the resources that she had. Would have liked to see actually a second barracks being thrown down, and also infinite queuing citizens to be used as militia. But I can't complain too much. She's playing really well. And
oh yeah, also the help of Oso. I mean, Oso did it right on time to go and give support. On top of Cody repairing the city. Look, I mean, the Kyoto is almost fully repaired now. That was an awesome job. I mean, really fast done, neatly done. Yeah, it was amazing.
And there's so many militia here. There's no way Fatabi's going to be able to take it back. On this side, I see Quetzal, you've bribed a war elephant because Daddy was busy microing on the other side. And now, I think, that there's no way they win it unless the Greeks player can age, but he still needs a bunch of food to age. Going for Civic 2, not really a good choice in this spot. And it looks like this game's going to end in a flurry.
Wow, look how many knowledge the Greek player has. 900 knowledge? Damn.
Yeah, and if you take a look, actually, look at how much wealth Fatabi has. Just was never able to use it. 820 knowledge, 820 wealth.
Wow,
just that, it makes you salivate, but he was just never able to use it. Just died way too quickly, and that's because he went Civic instead of just going for the faster age.
Yeah, and now we are trying to close the jaws. Well, of course, Cody and also are trying to get this Kumamoto city, and I mean the idea was to slowly closing the grip, moving towards the center, and then Delhi is the next target, but it's not that easy though.
Yeah, but I mean, this game's over. Fatabi's dead. There's no way they're taking him back in 40 seconds. Fatabi's nowhere close to aging to get to Forbidden City either. Um, so, and now we do see LAT finally get the advantage as Fatabi falls irrevocably behind and score. Well played from the LAT side, and a bit of a blunder, unfortunately, from Fatabi on this side. Just wasn't able to make a difference in his own capital because he went Civ and he didn't build up defenses, didn't respect the power of Turks in this case, and so ultimately he just died to this is a pretty typical Turk build. Just get that Mill 2 up nice and early, put down a siege factory, start building units, get militia, and then rush them.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the classic from Turks. And I think that when you are playing against a Turks player, and it is that close, city from city, capital from capital especially, I mean, you always have to consider that it may happen.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's very risky from either player who tries to do it. I mean, you skip civic, you skip science, you go all the way into your attack. I mean, you go with the militia rush, but. I mean, if it hits you, it's probably. I mean, if you're not ready for it, then you're dead. But if you manage to resist it, then the other player is actually dead. I mean, you just have to wait for it. But
Yeah,
I think that was pretty much a lack of vision, perhaps.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, I give some props to Fatabi here. That early Mill one did give him a solid edge, but ultimately his micro was a little off. His unit placement and composition was a little bit off, and ultimately the choice to go civic instead of aging as fast as possible. And when he saw Corey's early age, it's just over. Now they're gonna take Delhi and Bangalore once again. This game's over. I'm just gonna start fast forwarding because this game's very over. Delhi is taken by the Aztec player.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to give some battle in there, but unfortunately it was, sort of inexorable what happened.
Yeah, Onondaga is defended by some militia. Corey's gone for Commerce 2, which I think is a good choice. And it just I think that at this Daddy could have had a chance to win. If they had some army by the time Fatabi died, but they didn't. Their armies were still very small compared to Oso and Quetzal's armies. So ultimately, it just wasn't enough. We see this game's gonna go on for a while, but ultimately, it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah. So I mean, despite that, that the game wasn't that long. I mean, it was full of action, I will say, and definitely this is a great example by Corey of what that. There is a name that another fellow player, Inca, from my clan, uses for these strategies. He calls it the hammer, the Turkish hammer, because just skip civic, skip science, go Mill 2, commerce, and then go militia, pound, and then you hit.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good hammer.
Yeah, that's quite an effective attack. And we saw it, executed really, really well. And ultimately, again, I'm going to have to blame Fatabi for this loss. What do you expect when you're right next to Turks and they age early and you're like, oh, okay, I guess they're Russian? Like clearly, yes. So
maybe overconfidence. I mean, that's perhaps what I think.
Yeah,
that
likely.
After the raid, he thought that he had done that big damage, so he could take it easy. He could relax, take the time to build up the economy again. He wasn't expecting at all that fast attack.
Yeah, definitely. And we see Fatabi say in the chat, I was shocked when they rushed. And yeah, LAT did a good job sending resources to Corey, so she would recover much faster and have a fast attack. So yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this game number 1. Let's take a quick look at the stats. We do see Daddy with the most kills and also the most losses. But that's just a lot of in the as Oldie calls it, the garbage time. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna update the scoreboard really quickly. That's 1-0 in favor of LAT Team 2, and let's jump into game number 2, shall we?
Let's go for it.
All right. This one. All right. This is Call of Duty versus LAT Team 2. Game number 2. LAT Team 2 are a game up against Call of Duty. I'm at 0 seconds when you're ready, Quessa.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we've got this is Southwest Mesa, and let's take a look at the players and their nations. On the Call of Duty side, we've got ASXXX Daddy with Maya, Troll with Germans, and Fatabi with British. And on the other side, we've got Corey with Nubians, Quetzal with Koreans, and Oso with Bantu. I think I give the slight edge to Call of Duty in terms of I think I'd give the slight edge to Call of Duty in terms of nations. I do think Nubians are a bit luck based in terms of rares. I slightly prefer I do prefer the Germans, and I think I do prefer the British, and I think Germans are a better pick than Bantu. But maybe we'll see. Maybe we've seen some excellent raids from Oso in the past, being Oso's more well known for being a standard player. And so maybe he can really make use of those light infantry from the Bantu that are quite fast, and those raids early on would be interesting to see what will happen.
I was actually quite surprised, because if you think about it, of all the players that chooses the tier 1 to play, how many of them goes for Bantu? I mean, Bantu is one of the least of the less nations picked, I will say, from the tier 1.
Yeah, it is one of the least picked. Like, I would say it's like right ahead of Egyptians, which is definitely the least picked. Neither of these nations are both quite good. Egyptians and Bantu are powerful nations, but a lot of players just think they're not as good as the other nations. Myself included. Personally, I haven't had much luck with Bantu. But in the hands of a capable player, Bantu can be quite powerful and really, really strong.
Yeah, I have seen it. I have seen so deadly with Bantus. Not on my hands, unfortunately, but I've seen people playing them incredibly.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I don't know. I mean, what were your thoughts? How do you feel about Queza? How do you and how does your team feel about Nubians in general as a nation?
Well, I mean, if you actually look at the pick of our nations, of course, and if you have to divide them one by one, what will you assign to each of us according to our nations?
Wait, say again?
In terms of aggression, in terms of defense, in terms of team player, what will you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think Nubians are very good at booming, and if they have awesome rares, they can be aggressive as well. I think Koreans are a pretty well-rounded nation. They're really good at defending, really good at attacking, not so great at booming, I would say, comparatively. And I think Bantu are good at raiding and good at booming, but not so good at defending.
So pretty much we kind of talked it through and gave it a shot to the fact that Cody this time will give it a shot to boom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why she also built far behind. And then we were going to go to the grill at the very beginning with also on myself.
Yeah, and it does look like at least Corey has some really solid rares to boom with. Furs and Pappy, both excellent rares to have on this map. So for player introductions, let's take a look at where the players have spawned. On the bottom side, we've got the light blue Nubians player, LAT Corey, who's already using Furs and Pappy. And then right next to her, her teammate, LAT Quetzalcoatl, the green Korean player, who is currently commentating with us. Thank you very much for joining us. And on the top side, their third teammate, LAT Oso, the red Bantu player, who's currently facing off against Troll, the yellow German player. I expect Troll to have the edge in this matchup here because he's faster. And then on this side, there's the white Mayan player, ASXXX Daddy, who's already putting up the library. And finally, we've got Fatabi on the top side, who's actually gotten a really slow start. I think unfortunate spawn and not getting many runes. It looks like. Let's take a quick look at the rune count here. Fatabi is British, sorry. Yeah, it looks like Fatabi has 2 runes. Oso has 5. The other 2 LAT players have 3, and the other Call of Duty players have 4. Fairly balanced set of runes. Fatabi wishes he had a couple more runes, but is doing pretty decently other than that. Just a little on the slow side is all. And it looks like we're going to see some Commerce 1 being researched. Corey's still getting the economy going. Library going down for Quetzal. Here, Oso doesn't have a library yet, but Troll is going to get a library. I would like to see Troll just go for a Mill 1. Let's see how their scouting is. Looks like Troll hasn't done a great job scouting Oso for his wood camp. But I would like to... This looks like a good setup for Mill 1, but probably can go Civic and go Commerce and Civic if he really wants to. Let's take a look. It is going to be that Mill 1 choice from Troll. So we're definitely going to see some aggression from the side. Let's see if Oso smells it out. Oso finally putting out the library. This is a really, really late library, 455. And part of that's because 2 of those runes that he got early were wealth runes, which are not, not great.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty bad. I mean, the yellow player has almost already researched military and also still building his library. So yeah.
Yeah, and Troll sees this library only now finishing up, and Troll's going to see the wood camp very soon as well. I'm going to expect this barracks to do quite a bit of damage, especially if handled well. Let's see if Oso goes for Commerce 1, because that's very ideally Commerce 1 value, but he is very late. Might suspect that Troll's going to go for some sort of rush. Does scout the barracks, so he's going to save up for Mill 1. Nice choice there. And Troll has finished the barracks, so he's going to queue up heavy infantry immediately. I think I would like to see heavy infantry, slinger, archer in that order.
Yeah, I mean, just coming after that game, the previous game, what will you think the enemy player will do to you? And we were actually counting that military one was going to be performed by them.
Oh wow!
Sort of early raid, sort of early heavy raid.
Yeah.
That's why. Let's see. Well, yeah, also still doesn't go. But if I think
we do see Oso going to go for Mill 1. Has banked up tons of timber, and that means he might be able to deflect this raid pretty well. Looks like the German player is going to go for Commerce immediately. I actually would have liked to see another archer, but maybe if he gets something done with this raid, he'll end up being ahead. And let's see where Oso's barracks is going to be. It's going to be way in the back. I think that's an excellent choice. Got to make sure it doesn't get scouted. And I think Troll probably wants to put this slinger and the heavy infantry together, so he could target fire some of these citizens. Because I think at this point he's not going to get critical damage done, and instead should just try to deal as much damage as possible.
Yeah. Do you see where I started making my city? Also, that was another risky choice.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw the raid going, and I was like, okay, I have to go and get there, position myself. I mean, at least I'm Korean. So it doesn't matter if they start hitting my city, I will still be able to finish it.
Yeah, we do see Troll here going to target fire the citizen, but the city's going to finish up, and that's bad news, I think. Barely. The citizen does die, but the city is going to finish up.
Right on time.
Right on time.
You guys are right on time.
And it feels like Troll didn't get that much damage done. What did he do with the Solduri? He's saving it obviously, but I think he could have gotten at least a citizen kill, and instead has gotten literally nothing done. Now has Commerce, which is in the market, which is definitely a bit late. Should have gotten that a little earlier. I think it was microing. Let's take a look at the rares quickly. So for the Call of Duty side, they've got Dye. They've got Bison on the top side as well as horses. There's Cotton, Obsidian. Let's see what else is there. Marble.
There is
relics, gems,
citrus also at the right side.
Sugar, tobacco. Where's citrus?
At the right side, behind Red City. Oh no, sorry, that's also. Oh my, excuse me.
And on the LAT team, they've got wool. There's citrus, as you said, salt, silk, happy furs. Pretty interesting mix of rares here. If if the Call of Daddy team can control gems and relics, I think they're in business. But you know, Furs and Pappy are quite scary, especially for a Nubian player who's currently booming along. Does have Mill 1, gonna get the second city up very soon.
Yeah, but you know, I think that also speaking in the terms of aggression and violence that we've been used to, at least in the previous game. So Cody was just trying to get herself ready in case she got an undesired visit from any of our enemies. So she got the barracks going on, and after getting the barracks, I think she was ready to boom like crazily. Look all the rares that she has. I mean, already.
These are quite good rares. Couple knowledge ones using Silk and Furs and Pappy. Bunch of library rares. Gonna use Pappy to get a really cheap science. That's a great choice. Would like to see a tower here at Gems from Fatabi. British towers obviously are awesome. But currently Fatabi looks like he's just going for a bit of a longer game. And we do see Corey going to send a raiding party here on the bottom side, 3 units. Let's see how much they can get done. It looks like they'll actually get quite a bit done, especially if they snipe Tobacco, or they go all the way around to the backside.
And you know, also what I find thrilling about Bantus is all the territory that they can eat. You know, with the 2 cities that you build, and for so few resources. So
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I was waiting for also to go ahead and try to cover as much as territory, as possible. But it was already quite tight to spread towards the center. So he had to go around to surround them instead.
Yeah, it looks like neither team has scouted horses, which is on this top side, but Oso's going to go on the top side and on the back. Fine city placement. And it looks like Troll and Oso are just kind of trading. Although I will say Troll is definitely making misplay. Look at those resources. Really should make some more merchants to get the wood income up to 100, and then the wealth income a little bit higher. And on this side, Corey's doing an excellent raid on Daddy here. The city just barely out of range to shoot at these units, and taking advantage of the woodcutter camp there for Daddy, just being really, really annoying. Corey's doing a decent job of target firing as well. The citizen's going to get in safely, but looks like she already took out a merchant, and these units are going to get away.
Yeah, I mean, some raid is being done. Actually, the Daddy is performing also another raid on Silk, if you see.
But yeah, definitely. This heavy infantry going to do a good amount of work.
But you know, something curious happened there, actually, I must say. Because I don't know if you see that my merchant starts just leaving.
Yeah.
From there. So he starts coming after my merchant, just following it. And then I have to tell Daddy that was a poor micro that you perform at this place. Because your heavy infantry just kept following my merchant.
There's no way you can kill it because the merchant outruns the heavy infantry. You should go back and kill Corey's merchant, which looks like it's just going to sit and survive there for a little while. On this side, we see...
Corey's merchant probably was the most important.
Yeah, we see here, Oso's still going to be annoying with these light infantry, and the German player has aged. Oso is not quite aged, but the economy is there. I really need to see Troll put out some more merchants, but it is not. On this side, let's take a look at how Daddy's doing. Daddy has also aged, has a decent amount of rares and such, and let's take a look at Corey. Corey is going to go for Hanging Gardens. I think that's a interesting choice here. But definitely, if she can get it going and compare it with Pappy and Furs, then it's GG, right? She just outbooms everybody. She's pretty hidden in the corner here. It's going to be really tough to get through. I would like to see a tower at the front for Pappy, or I would like to see Call of Daddy go and raid it, because they clearly know their opponents have Pappy. You don't want to let your opponents use Pappy for a while. You don't want to let the Nubian player just boom up. And there's a lot of light infantry for Oso. 3 light infantry and a archer. Gonna pick off.
He was doing a good raid also.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the unit kills quickly here. Do you see it's like the Call of Daddy side definitely has lost more units. Troll's lost 4 units and only killed 1. Fatabi's lost 2, and Daddy's gone 2 and 3. Whereas Oso, Quetzal, and Corey have all killed more units than lost, which is good for them. And as we talked about, these early unit kills really, really snowball. these light infantry being super annoying from Oso. Just continuous raiding, outrunning everything. Now we see a light horse from Patabi. That's gonna help clean up some, or drive the raiders away at least. Nice pick there from Patabi. Oso's finally gonna age. We do see Senator coming out from Troll. I think he could have been a little bit faster and also could have be using more of his rares, especially, tobacco, could be using cotton or sugar on the bottom side, although it looks like that did just get raided by Corey. Fatabi's not microing this light horse and going to lose it to City Fire. And it looks like everybody's just sitting back a little bit. There's some raids going on, but otherwise everybody's sitting back. Would like to see some more players on the Call of Daddy side use this gems. And I'm interested to see what sort of text will come out. I actually would like to see some of the players go for Civ 2 before Mill, because everybody's so far away. Looks like Corey's going to go for Mill 2. Looks like she's going to get some raids going. I don't think that's a good choice. I think you can just boom up a little bit. Her economy is kind of not great at this point. Would rather have seen her get Senator early and just get to 150 economy before starting to raid her opponents.
I mean, this game was definitely more peaceful than the other.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It's kind of just building up. I mean, right now, just like in any good story, tension starts building up until it gets to the nut, right? And then it gets all the way down.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, what's happening? My Discord's reloading, I think. Oh dear, what's happening? I don't know. All right, apologies, folks. I'm not really sure what happened. We still see some raids happening here, and now we see Quetzal going to start putting pressure on the front. Upgraded the units and has 2 sieges, but it looks like there are enough units here. We see Daddy going to go for Despot. I think that's a terrible choice. Absolutely no reason to go for Despot in this game. You're not attacking your opponent. You're clearly just trying to hold him off. Senator is a much better pick. Terrible, terrible choice from Daddy. Fatabi says in the chat, I'm very confused about what to do in this game. If you look at my caravan route, it took my caravan 5 minutes to start generating. I had plus 20 wealth for a long time. Yeah, you had a late city, right? And that your wealth income is really suffering, but you got to use those rares that you have. Looks like you guys had tobacco, gems, and dye as well. And it looks like you're using those rares now. It looks like we're going to see a skirmish here on this side. Troll's going to try and fight with... Oh, wait. I actually don't know. It looks like somehow, despite having less units, Quetzal, you won this fight here.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. I think they were the right type of units.
Yeah, and I think it looks like you had upgraded archers compared to your opponent's completely unupgraded units.
Yeah.
Which made a difference.
And then I had phalanx also research. So I mean, they had more units, but I had the upgraded done.
Yeah, looks like it. They're gonna lose the Senator though. That's a poor, unfortunate mistake for Quetzal here. But again, Daddy has gone Despot, and that's not going to work out in the long run. Troll's going to go for Colossus. I think that's a fine choice. Really, I think he probably wishes he could have gotten Hang Gardens, but alas. I take that back about the Colossus. I think he needs to put pressure now because his ally has gone Despot. You need to make something happen on this side. And Corey's kind of just sitting alone, booming in the corner. Has Calm 2. Gonna get to H2 soon. Although her economy is not doing great, but she is raiding in the back line. Has a Slinger here to start raiding Obsidian. That's gonna be really tough to deal with. And there's also Phalanx here as well as a Horse Archer over there.
But I think that's one of the most important things to understand about this game. So if you look at it, like the whole of them, all of the players from their side, they came to our side pretty much. I mean, there is pressure being done by Jello and by Fatabi, and then I'm facing pretty much Daddy. So nevertheless, Cody is Nubians with all those rares that are pretty much not rated. When Hanging Gardens, they decided to leave her free, to leave her out of the quarrel, and just focus on us. Which, I mean, I understand it. Trying to double one, like for example, they're doubling also right now, and it
Yeah,
was a
Oso
bet.
has a lot of militia here, and Troll's kind of just walking away. Fatabi has 7 light horses. That's a lot of light horses, but they're not very good against these militia, unfortunately, for Fatabi. Gonna lose some, but looks like the wins the fight anyways. And yeah,
Another good call from Oso. He decided not to sacrifice, fighting, but rather he takes all the militia and all the military units that didn't die and to garrison them. That was a very good choice because
yeah,
he will
I think so, definitely. He would definitely lose that battle here. Now we see Troll gonna start to move up, and Troll's gonna be close to aging, and I think again, I think I think that the more I think about it, the more I think this Colossus was a bad choice, actually. Over the long period, the Nubian player who's Hang Gardens is going to win the boom. She's done a lot of just sitting back and raiding so far, not that many units, military units overall. Although, she has gone for Despot, which I think is a bad choice. She's way ahead in tech at this point, and knowledge. There's really no reason to go for that. Does look like Quetzal, you've gotten the upper hand against Daddy, the Despot at this point is definitely hurting him a lot. Gonna go for Commerce too now.
But one thing I do forgot about that. Look at that villager, at that citizen, just standing there right next to Great Zimbabwe. I completely forgot that I was Koreans and that I could just repair.
That's one of their
city
biggest
out.
bonuses. Repairing, definitely. Oops.
Because I took the time to send one citizen to each of their capitals, but with the time came, I actually forgot about that. So yeah.
Yeah, we see Oso raiding London, the capital, and I mean, look at poor Fatabi's income. It's just nowhere right now. Getting the caravan raided, the capital is getting raided by a horse archer and this heavy infantry. They're just brutalizing Fatabi's economy, while Quetzal is just killing Daddy on this side. And now it looks like the Call of Daddy team is really, really far behind.
Oh yes. Yeah, they fell behind. I mean, that was something amazing. Another amazing thing that Cody did. Just keep booming, but not being still. I mean, she kept raiding, and then plus the raid of Oso as well. Yeah, they kind of neutralized them from the back.
Yeah, and if you look at Corey's kill count, 12-1. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of kills for only 1 loss. She's going to be able to take the city of Champoton for free here because there's nothing to defend it aside from a tower that's hurriedly going up. Looks like she's not going to get punished for this Despot play, and now we see Troll has to fight it out here against upgraded Korean units. Might win the fight, but it's a costly fight to take. On this side, Oso's going to go and run in against Fatabi's units. A nice forced march going to come out. Fatabi doesn't have enough archers to fight it off, and but Troll manages to back off the sieges. So,
did you see how Cody also managed to take Champoton?
Yeah, just again, this is a lesson, right? Corey's booming, but she's not being passive. She's raiding her opponents.
Yeah.
She's being really annoying. Although I will say her economy is definitely really lacking actually at this point. And also going Despot didn't help that matter either.
But it's been also, I mean, up to this far, it's been also who's been suffering the acid. He's been double twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and in fact, Oso doesn't even have Mill 2 yet. His economy is doing quite poorly, but
he's just defending. I mean, he's trying to keep it up. I'm trying to drill from the center, and in the meantime, Cody is just taking over, from the sides.
Yeah, and we still see this raid going on. Finally, it's going to get picked off by this tower. But let's take another look at the unit kills. Corey has 19 kills, now lost 2 units. That's an insane ratio, and she's the first one to age. And it looks like nobody else is particularly close yet. German player probably needs another minute or 2 to finish aging. And this is a solid army from Troll. But Corey has a large army and is going to press into Mayapan. And Daddy is nowhere close to aging. Went for Commerce too because I think he didn't have the food. And their economy is just like, even though Corey's economy isn't the greatest, and it should be much better at this point. It's also not awful, and especially compared to Daddy's, who's really faltering with the Despot economy. Only has a little bit of time now to recover. See Corey raiding gems, nice move there, but gonna throw away this pikeman to the tower. It looks like. On this side, Quetzal, you're still being annoying. There's a big skirmish between Troll and Oso. I think this is definitely a bad fight for Troll to take, throwing away a lot of units against 2 towers. And a lot of these units were unupgraded, so and he can age now, so should have just waited a little bit longer. I mean, look at those resources. Really unfortunate that he chose to go in at that moment because, you know, he just threw away most of his army.
Yeah. So there is Rahe Zendegi on the chat. He's commenting also that this feels Smurfy.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man, about that?
I don't know what you mean, you know. So, okay, so actually, I want to address this quickly because I have heard, like, similar things in the past, not necessarily about this game, but, like, in general about smurfing. So as we know, so Rise Nation's lingo-wise, smurfing means that you have somebody else play that on a separate account, so, you know, you don't know who it is, and usually it's, like, a better player playing on an unknown account, so, you know, they get an advantage somehow. And so, generally, the rule for tournaments, at least my perspective and Connor's perspective, and I imagine your perspective as well, Quetzal, is innocent until proven guilty. We have no, you know, if there's no reason, no good evidence for it, then, you know, there's no reason to suspect that somebody might be smurfing. And
yeah,
so,
I mean, in order to collect evidence, it will be such a pain in the butt. As a matter
I mean,
of
it's
fact.
not even that. Like, you know, you can go back and look through the replays to see if you see any evidence. And honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of times we say the game feels smurfy because you know, like it's
what reason?
like
what reason
it feels like one player
that?
is really playing well. But it's not, right? Corey's not playing amazing. Look at her economy. It's like kind of in shambles right now. She went despot despite having an awesome boom. And like her army composition is also not super great either. You know, she's not playing the best by any stretch of the means. But she is playing well, you know?
What I see is just a logic turnout of events. You know, like Daddy's team were pretty much running around trying to double either of us. And while actually they managed to double in this case also many times, they came on me also doubling me a couple of times. And I mean, Cody was set free all the time. Cody was left alone.
Yeah.
Nobody made a skirmish or any sort of attack to their cities. So what do you expect? Nubians with tons of rares. I mean, having hanging gardens, as you said, she maybe did some not the best choices while going up, you know, with the despot, with etc. etc. So I mean, what do you expect?
She's not playing amazing, but she is playing good enough that it's definitely countering what Call of Duty's putting out here. And we've seen like a couple blunders from Call of Duty, which has led them to lose control of this game. And they're now 700 points behind an average score. Daddy's only now going to age. Fatabi and Oso actually haven't aged quite yet. I'm surprised. Well, Fatabi's been suffering from a zillion raids, so that's fair. And there's a big skirmish here happening between... Basically, here it's Corey getting tripled by Troll's small army, Daddy's small army, and Fatabi's small army. I don't know why Troll's going back. Maybe to go save his own city from Berlin, which is an important city. And this is quite the large army from Quetzal here.
And, you know, also one last thing to add, something that olddirtyh said a couple of games ago, I remember. And perhaps this is the most important reason when playing or when watching these Inter's games. Remember that Inter games are meant, so according to his words, some games are done exceptionally good and some other games are exceptionally bad.
That is true.
So you take those two ends, and any of us can play, you know, from that end to the other in the middle. Some games can be awful, and some other games are just outstanding.
Yeah, like you know, there are games where you know may have somebody who's really good, who's like pretty solid, play a normal game, but then they just die to a militia rush because they forgot to research militia, right? Like, and that's like a noob mistake. We look at them, we're like, wow, they're a noob, they're so bad. You know, whereas other games they may get Colossus and Hanging Gardens as Egypt on Great Lakes and win the game easily. You know, people are very different when it comes to skill levels and consistencies in terms of how they're playing. And it just looks like LAT is just outplaying their opponents right now, even if they're not playing like the most, the best or anything. Here we see Troll doing a nice move, going to snipe off these sieges with these light horses, or try to pick them off at least. Probably going to get 2 before losing these light horses. Should have gone around to the other side, but Troll's pulled the militia, and that's not going to work too well against these pikemen. And there's very little army here from Troll, actually.
So what time are you at right now?
I'm at 25:37.
Okay.
Looks like Quetzal's lost 2 sieges to those light horses. Nice little move there from Troll, but I think it's going to be too little too late because the LAT team is currently picking them apart on all sides. Fatabi desperately trying to boom up, getting pyramids, but it's going to be really tough. You have all that floating resource. You need to get Commerce 2 and Mill 3 as soon as possible, get a castle, and get a decent-sized army so you can possibly turn around this game. But, I mean, Troll, who is leading their player score, is now... Look at this economy. It's in shambles. Really tough. So we see in the chat, we say Ian Graham, while there's varying skills of inters isn't there. Yeah, that's true. I mean, as an intermediate player, there's lots of different skill levels that you can have, which is part of what makes being an inter or playing with other inters so fun. But yeah, I mean, I would say as the most part, inters, people can play really, really well, but people also play really, really poorly. It's just a matter of consistency. If somebody can play like any of the like top pros or the Nomadium players all the time, they would be really good, but they can't because of their consistency, right? Every game is different. Every game they have to do different play styles. So, anyways, and that's pretty much the end of our rant here.
Well, in the meantime, we see how Berlin has been taken.
It's been taken back. And Troll has a decent army, but the economy is just not there at this point. Really needs a granary up and a lumber mill and a smelter to get things going, but his wealth income's really suffering, which is why I can't afford any of those things. And let's take a look at Corey's rares, or let's take a look at LAT's rares overall. They just have a lot more rares. Now, looks like Daddy's capital is very exposed here and going to get taken. There's a lot of archers here from Daddy, which is good, but I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make. Corey does have a very small army, though. This is pretty tiny here. Again, this is because she went Despot early. Just can't get to 200 income. And also the wealth income is actually pretty lackluster thus far.
Yeah, and now they are having, again, 3 open fronts. I mean, one from Oso's side, the one coming from the middle. And, I see also Fatabi. I mean, all the time Fatabi was trying to came through to recover this other city, the Tsimin Kax. And I actually had to juggle between attacking Berlin and being aware of defending this city, because it was completely strategic. This city, it was the middle point between pretty much the north and the left, because otherwise there was that huge mountain dividing us. So it was something important, I had to keep an eye on Oso. Corey was doing her own thing at that end. So it was at the same time, it was always some sort of organization, trying to keep all things going at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. It's good on Fatabi to continuously pressure and threaten to take back Tsimin Kax. So Quetzal can't just go and double Troll. But, at this point, they're losing on all 3 fronts. I like this move from Fatabi. You just got to do anything at this point to try and turn this game around. Because currently you're losing on all 3 fronts. If you continue to fight 3 1v1s, you're just going to lose in the long run.
Yeah, it's true.
And now we see Troll's probably going to get doubled here this is a really massive army from Oso, who's recovered splendidly from losing a bunch of cities earlier on. Now has 4 cities, great economy, actually much better than Troll's economy. Troll loses the city easily. Smaller army than both of their separate armies.
But now in this time, this part, both players, Fatabi and Daddy, came to counter Cody's attack. So they left our side 2 versus 1. It was Oso and I versus Kebab Maker. Just look at the size of our armies. What do you think is going to happen, man?
Yeah, it's a very large difference. There is a fort here from Troll, but Troll's just going to desperately try to hold off the offense. Would like to see another city come up. And it's going to be up to Fatabi and Daddy to press on this side and try to kill Corey, but Corey's gunpowder age, and now, she's just booming along. Still a really lackluster wealth income. I'm not entirely sure why. It looks like there's no caravan route. I'm not sure what our other caravans are doing. Let's take a look.
She has plus 76.
Oh, the caravans are garrisoned in the market. That's why her wealth income is so bad. Oops.
Oh well. Yeah, it's true. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oopsies.
a little thing. Devils is in the little details.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and this game looks over. It's going to be really hard for Call of Duty to come back from this one because, Troll is their best chance with Colossus, but he's behind in tech and economy. The wealth income's really doing really poorly because he just doesn't have anything at this point. He's been doubled. Both of his opponent's armies are much larger than his. Let's see how much. He has a single barracks, 2 stables, and that's it. Only using relics as a rare.
But it's also the size of Mesa, which made the difference right now. Because, how are they going to go and give some assistance, to any of them? That's what I think they were trying to do. They were just dancing and running all around the map. Even though they held the middle, so they had that corridor going from the attack to Oso, then going to defend in the middle, then passing to defend to Daddy's side, then wanting to go back to the middle, then in all these goings and coming backs, I think that actually helped us at least, because we were just driving the attack from the sides, and they were the ones just running around in the middle corridor.
Yeah, definitely. It is, as you said, it's really hard to rotate on this. Like, I think a move that might have been possible for Tabi earlier was to go for Quetzal, your capital or something, or go for Corey's capital, but it's just so hard to navigate on Mesa, and also, it's really hard to siege down cities, especially when your opponent is Koreans. Now we see Linz is taken, the Colossus is taken. That's going to be a Colossus for the Bantu player who now has 200 population cap, and this is a massive Bantu army. This looks like GG to me. And given that this is going to be GG, that means LAT is going to take this series 2-0, which means we're going to have a 3-way tie. I've already been briefed by Connor on what to do about the situation, so please just sit tight. I'll explain it as soon as this game is over. It's just utter chaos happening here. Tabi desperately trying to make a small army here, but this game is very over. Well played from the LAT side, and we saw some pretty interesting and good plays from Call of Duty, but ultimately just a couple of critical blunders. Mainly this game, I would say, is Troll went for Mill, which didn't get anything done early on. That was like a minor one. Then Daddy went for Despot instead of Senator. That was a really bad one. And they just didn't use... They didn't all use their good rares, and Fatabi wasn't able to hold off the raids continuously from Corey.
Nubians left going wild with all those rares and without any sort of attack or raid.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen.
GG is called by Daddy. Well played from I think both sides played this decently well. We saw some blunders from everybody basically, but ultimately LAT came out on top because they made the less critical errors and they played a little bit better than their opponents.
Yeah, and I think that there is one final last move from Fatabi, trying to take back that city of the middle, the Simin Cax. And, that's the thing, because in order to go to help to get the capital, to get Linz, either goes all the way to the left from that hill, or is actually faster passing through that city, passing through Berlin, right, and arriving there. But
yeah,
that's the dilemma.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for him to make it all the way through. Final stand for Fatabi here, who has had to endure raids, had to handle being like the one putting out fires all game, basically. It's been really tough for him, but it's not going to be good enough. At this point, Linz has a good amount of repair, and at this point, Oso can probably beat them 2v1. Final stand for Fatabi and Call of Duty here, but it's not going to be good enough. GG, well played. to respond to some people in the chat, we see a bit of a discussion about inters and levels and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good discussion. I'm glad that people are still being respectful. Obviously, it's everybody it's entitled to their own opinion, which is really awesome. And it's really nice to see some discussion. Again, GG, well played is called Nice Sportsmanship from Call of Daddy, as well as LAT. Well played, both of them. This is a fun series to cast. All right, it is game over.
What they're saying in the chat, about that, the difference between an inter or a pro or a noob. I mean, when it comes to resigning, then I'll dare to cite one of our fellow members here, Clan Hater, for example. I hope you're listening to us, man. Probably not. But anyways, I mean, the sort of person, the sort of teammate that when activates his superpower, which is blame on the other teammates for any losing, I mean, well, it doesn't matter. You're pro, you're inter, you're noob. I mean, Clan Hater is a skill, old player. Nonetheless, his skills may be debatable, but I mean, I guess it's a thing of a moral. I mean, you lose one city, they resign. I mean, some other players, they are double one time, they resign.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happened, no.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, if you're definitely, there's no way you're coming back, you can resign. But, if your team is still doing okay, then maybe you can fight it out. But definitely some interesting discussion in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being engaged. We really appreciate it. All right, so that means LAT Team 2 wins this series, and that means they're going to advance to 2-2 against Call of Daddy. Call of Daddy drops to 2-2, and now we have a three-way tie. I'm going to pull up my other screen so we can talk about that briefly, because Connor told me what to do, kind of. All right, so let's pull up this screen, and I'm going to update it with the... I'm going to update it with the information here. So, Quetzal, do you want to quickly tell us how you were feeling after you guys won this match?
Well, it was amazing, actually, because, I mean, we still have very high opinions of Daddy, and Fatabi and Yellow player, and achieving this win. It was amazing for us. We weren't expecting it. That happened that simple, to be honest. I mean, and as we all could see in the replays, I mean, it was a combination between luck, between skill, and between right decisions in the right time. And of course, the losing side, the opposite on each of these categories, I will say.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about what's going to happen now. So basically, Connor already told me what would happen. So there's a three-way tie between Call of Daddy, Strat, and LAT Team 2. In order to break this tie, they're going to each play games against each other. So it's going to be a round robin among the three of them. And Connor told me he changed his mind this morning, actually. Oops, sorry, hit the table. He actually changed his mind this morning. The games are going to be best of three, not best of one. They are going to be best of three matches. So you're going to play best of three matches against everybody, and then hopefully there will be a winner among those. And we would, I imagine there will be the same rules, same standard rules. They have to be 3v3. They should be scheduled as soon as possible, as soon as possible, because I would still like to have the top 8 announcement either on Friday or Saturday. If the games are not done at that point, and obviously there's good reason for it, then we'll just say like, whichever is the winner out of the three of them, will take that spot. So best of three, round robin. It's Call of Daddy, Strat, and LAT Team 2. They have to be played 3v3. So please get those games in. We might, depending on time, we might not even cast it, but hopefully we'll be able to cast those games. Because we still would like to get the top 8 announcement as soon as possible. Again, 3v3, all rules followed, round robin style, and the winner will take that. I'm not sure what Connor thinks about, because he is the tournament organizer. He has the ability to do whatever about rules. I'm not sure what he'll say to what happens if there's another three-way tie, like if it's still like Call of Daddy beats Strat, Strat beats LAT, LAT beats Call of Daddy. I'm not sure what will happen. I imagine we'll we'll probably have to do some sort of like special rule breaking, like number of wins, like number of game wins, or worst comes to worst, we could flip a coin, but I really don't want to do that. I just want to see some more awesome games from these teams. So any of these three teams, only one of them will make it into the top 8 because AL's already into the top 8. Only one of those teams will make it in. So we'll definitely see what sort of things come from that. Quetzal, how do you feel about this? Do you think it's reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, it is reasonable. It is definitely one way to go. And yeah, I mean, I was just thinking how to go around this, because it will definitely mean
it's going to be more time in your schedule, and I'm sorry for that. It takes time. That sucks.
I mean, four matches the least, 4 more matches the least, and it gets so complicated. Well, you know the drill.
Yeah.
However, I will see. I don't know. I'm thinking about another option. I will let it know. I will Connor let it know.
Yeah.
We will see. Yeah, how to go around.
Yeah, definitely. So
it's good to still be in at least.
Yeah. So for those teams who are involved in the three-way tie, if you have questions, if you have issues, if you have suggestions, please contact Connor McDavid. Again, he is the tournament organizer. He'll get everything cleared up. And I believe I specifically told him to ask. I specifically told him to try and directly help with scheduling, because we do want to get these games as soon as possible so we can get the top 8 all sorted out. Anyways. We hope this seems fair to all the players, and obviously, if you have any suggestions or any sort of any sort of complaints or anything, please talk to Connor McDavid. He's a reasonable guy, and he really wants to hear your ideas.
Heads up with those morphing, accusations, because they may not be always true, guys, and we're speaking before. Inter games, we can see a lot of variation, and I think that there is a huge range of skills, going from very poor to outstandingly good in 1 or 2 games. Yeah. So,
and I will say about the smurfing thing, like it's like you need to think really carefully before you jokingly say, "Oh, a smurf." Because it is really hurtful, right? Like somebody who played decently well and played a good game, you call them a smurf, you're saying, oh, they can't play that good, like they physically aren't able to, and that's why I think they're smurfing. Like, that's a really hurtful thing to say. So please be careful about who you say is smurfing, because we're a small community and we don't want too much conflict to come in the community. So please, be careful about what you say. And also, of course, if there is significant evidence of smurfing, definitely that's something that Connor will take into consideration. I imagine that will be an automatic disqualification. But at least, for example, in this case, I didn't see any evidence. I didn't see any compelling evidence. So.
Yeah, and it has happened to me, personally.
Oh, what's happening? Okay, Oldie, hi, sorry.
Hey, are you guys done, or are you trying to do some more?
We just finished the cast there, and then I just did the quick announcement for what do you call it? I did the quick announcement for what would happen because it was a 3-way tie.
Got it. So
I think we're done for
one game playoff. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're done for the day.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just finishing my spiel about like both the 3-way tie and the smurfing thing. So again, please contact Connor McDavid if you have any questions. If you do have compelling evidence of any sort of cheating or smurfing or anything of the like, please also contact Connor McDavid. Again, he is the tournament organizer, so he'll make things fair. We hope everybody has enjoyed the stream today. GG's, well played from the LAT side and the Call of Duty side. I really like to see these nice close games. So thank you all to those of you who have joined this stream. I'm olddirtyh, oldie, who's joined in for the last 2 seconds, and Quetzal, who I don't know where he went, but I'm sure he would say
better. Hey, better late than never, guys.
Better late than never. That's true.
So, all right. See you tomorrow.
All right. Bye. Tomorrow we'll be casting Old Pappy Nuts versus Last Minute, which is your team, Oldie. So I'm quite excited for that match.
That
See
should
you.
be a fun one.
Yeah, definitely.
Fun one.
All right. See you all tomorrow.